This story is personal for me. This story is personal for Brittany Page. Last April, some MAGA moron called our voicemail line and threatened to murder me. Wasn't good enough, so he called back. There's a video. I'll link to it below. Here's the thumbnail from that video. Called back because the first message wasn't good enough and threatened to rape and murder my wife, my partner in content creation and in life, Brittany Page. We called the FBI, we called the police, and that case is working its way through the system. It is currently with the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Washington, D.C., an office that is now led by, headed up by, a man named Ed Martin, a Donald Trump appointee. He's the acting, at this point, U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. He's an anti-democratic nightmare. He is a stop the steal funder. He is someone who tried to overthrow the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair election. And he is in charge of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. So we'll see whether that case goes anywhere. There will be hell raised if it goes away, if this asshole who threatened to rape and kill my wife and kill me gets away with it. We're gonna go wide with the public. All the details about the cops, all the details about the U.S. Attorney's Office, about the investigation. We're gonna go as big as I can make it, and hopefully you'll be here to help signal boost that. But right now, back to why this is alarming for me, there's a personal connection to this, is that Ed Martin is now threatening members of Congress, sending them threatening letters with vagaries about investigations because they're threatening public figures. While Steve Bannon took the stage last night at CPAC, I'm going to talk about that in a couple hours, talking about fix bayonets. Ed Martin certainly at the Stop the Steal rallies witnessed Rudy Giuliani talk about trial by combat. He screamed and wailed as a fucking Batman villain. There's no letters being sent to them. Steve Bannon is not in fear of a Justice Department investigation because of his violent rhetoric. Fix bayonets. Nah. However, if you're a Democrat in Congress and you say something vaguely interpreted by these assholes as threatening, you're going to get a letter from the Justice Department threatening investigation and possible prosecution, possible jail for your words against Supreme Court justices and Elon Musk. I'm going to read two of these letters. And then this is also a bit of a criticism of Chuck Schumer and Democrats. Get off your ass and stop apologizing. Stop acquiescing in letters back to the Justice Department. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I chose my words wrong. What are you doing? Be strong. Be a leader. Wield the power and influence of your position, Chuck Schumer. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ed Martin. You fucking zero. I'm so sorry, Ed Martin. What are you doing? This is the first letter to Representative Garcia, Congressman from California. Dear Representative Garcia, as United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, I receive requests for information and clarification. I take these requests seriously and act on them with letters like this one you are receiving. Like letters like this one you are receiving. If he's reading it, you know, again, it's fecklessness, it's idiocy. Have you seen the written English language, Ed Martin? At this time, I respectfully request that you clarify your comments from February 12th, 2025, during a live interview with CNN. When asked how Democrats can stop Elon Musk, you spoke clearly, quote, what the American public wants is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy. This sounds to some like a threat to Mr. Musk, an appointed representative of President Donald Trump, who you call a dick. It's because he's a dick, Ed Martin, as are you. a dick, as is the president of the United States, a dick. Is that also now illegal? Does that violate the Constitution and the protections that are found in the First Amendment against Congress making no law abridging the freedom of speech, the free exercise thereof? No? Ringing a bell there, U.S. Attorney Ed Martin? We take threats against public officials very seriously. I look forward to your cooperation with my letter, blah, 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 fucking blah. Here's the letter to Chuck Schumer. And if you thought, well, you know, that might be looked upon as a threat, do you think that Representative Garcia really thinks there's a bar fight happening? Or is he speaking in vagaries and metaphor? Like bringing a knife to a gunfight doesn't mean there's knives and guns, you dipshits. Here's the letter to Schumer. Dear Senator Schumer, as the United States Attorney for District of Columbia, I receive requests for information and clarification. I take these requests seriously and act on them with letters like this one that you are receiving. Fucking moron. At this time, I respectfully request that you clarify your comments from March 4th, 2020. Nearly 5 years ago. Clarify these comments that you made from 5 years ago. Your comments were at a private rally off the campus of the United States Capitol. You made them clearly and in a way that many found threatening. Your exact words were, I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, speaking about Supreme Court justices, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions. We take threats like this seriously. It goes on and on and on. This is the problem. This is using the weight and heft of the power, the influence, the scary nature of illegal investigations and the threat of imprisonment and bringing it to Democrats in Congress. Now, to his credit, Representative Garcia, I haven't found any response to this officially. I haven't seen him writing back and groveling at the dipshit Ed Martin, the dick Ed Martin. I haven't seen that. Schumer, on the other hand, his chief of staff sent an absolutely unjustified groveling letter. We apologize. My word, his words. What do you do? Be a leader. We need that now. We need leadership because a lot of us, look, I don't have any power other than the fact that I reach millions of people. I can imagine if you don't have a microphone and a camera and an audience that you feel less powerful than I already feel. But if you're the minority leader of the United States Senate of the United States of America, you're not without power, Chuck Schumer. This is the letter he sent back to Ed Martin. This is from February 6th, response to letter of January 21st, 2025. Dear Mr. Martin, Senator Schumer asked me to respond to your letter dated January 21st, 2025, requesting clarification of comments made by Senator Schumer on March 4th, 2020. On March 5th, 2020, the day after the comments referenced in your letter, Senator Schumer made the following remarks on the floor of the Senate. Now, I should have not used the words I used yesterday. They didn't come out the way I intended to. My point was that there would be political consequences for President Trump and Senate Republicans if the Supreme Court, with the newly confirmed justices, stripped away a woman's right to choose. Of course, I didn't intend to suggest anything other than political and public opinion, blah, 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 blah. If you're frustrated with Democrats who are in office right now, doing nothing but sending out concerned tweets, doing their best Susan Collins impression, you're right to be frustrated. We rely upon these people to stand in the gap for us in the face of threats to our rights, threats to the Constitution. And when they send letters back, this is what I said on the Senate floor. Oh, I chose my words wrongly. It's not what I intended. You know, if you're going to send a letter, you send a letter that says, pound sand, off, dick. That's the letter. You don't grovel at the foot of a fascist. You don't legitimize their claim by even answering it. Off. That's what you say. Maybe that's too aggressive for the septuagenarian. Chuck Schumer. And look, he's done good work. Yeah, he's a little bit too moderate and middle of the road for me, but he's been a decent leader of Democrats. But it's time to go. If you don't have the mettle for the fight, if you don't have what it takes to live in this new power ecosystem that we are in, if you can't be in AOC, if you can't be in Elizabeth Warren, we're not even talking about young people here. Elizabeth Warren's in her 70s. If you can't be that, retire. Move on. Enjoy your family and the rest of your life, and thank you for your service. It's time to go because we are up against a new crop of enemies. Not just political enemies, but enemies to the republic. Enemies who are now reshaping global, what used to be adversaries into allies. We are stepping away from a leadership role on a global stage, allowing despots and dictators and murderous administrators of genocide to be the new kings. And if you don't have what it takes, and this doesn't just go to Chuck Schumer and other electeds in the Congress, if you don't have what it takes to fight, step aside. Don't get in the way of those of us who are willing to fight, who are willing to put ourselves in harm's way for that fight. In this bar fight. You ever wake up certain days and you feel hopeless, depressed even, down? I feel like that a lot. But for some reason, my constitution, and I don't mean constitution, but my makeup, that manifests itself in rage. That manifests itself in aggression, in wanting to fight. I'm not going away. I'm not afraid. Am I bummed? Am I disheartened at the condition of the republic, which I served in the United States Marine Corps? Yeah. I hope you are too. Anyway, I'm going to go. Don't want to make this a 20-minute video. I love and appreciate you very much. I'd love to hear from you. You can comment below. You can call me a dick. Tell me how wrong I am about Chuck Schumer. That's fine. We can disagree agreeably, as long as you know that my heart is for this country, that my goal is for betterment of people's lives. Then you know my heart's in the right place. And if my heart's in the right place and I have a bad opinion, I don't think I do. I guess I'm getting ahead of all the people clicking unsubscribe and not wanting to hear the message because I pissed them off about their favorite politician. For me, this isn't a team sport. My team is Americans. Those are the people on my team, not political party people. Anyway, you can call the voicemail line also, 714-576-4054. You can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'm trying my best to not make it 20 minutes while making it nearly 20 minutes. If you want to help support this work, if you appreciate my tone, my message, if you're still around, please, for $2 a month, you can click the join button, become a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.